I'm busy.
Hello there. Welcome to the Okanagan Forest channel. Spring has finally come to the Pacific Northwest and we have some sunshine. So what I want to do today, and this will be kind of a brief video, I'd like to show you how I start my stove, which is not necessarily how other people do. And before I forget, I want to tell you that if you do a search of DEADWOOD stove on YouTube, you'll come up with Technician 775 channel. Well, Steve over there did a beautiful job of starting his stove with fire-kilned lumber scrap. Now, I use a different kind of wood and I have a different process, so you ought to go look at his and you might enjoy seeing what I do. The first thing I do is I have a kind of a little fire starter that I started with egg crate and little pieces of wood and some lint from the dryer, and then I wrap it up like this, like that, and I make kind of a wick. This is wax paper. You know, you can buy a roll of this stuff for next to nothing, and it really does work really well. So then what I do is I just set that in like that. I open up my stove, hasn't started yet, and I put it in the bottom. And I have that nice wax paper that'll help me get things going. Then I have some cedar kindling that I put on top. Now, I got called on the carpet here the other day by a very good person with a comment about, what are you doing putting wood in from the top? One of the beautiful things about these stoves is that there's room for personality. You don't always have to all do it the same way. The airflow is from the bottom, and that's what creates the rocket process. But I prefer to play with my stove a little bit, and as a result I end up loading stuff from the top. So there, we're going to put some cedar in like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this back over here. Let's see if we can get her started. It's a little windy out here, so whenever you're doing a video you're going to have problems. Yeah, let's get her going. There we go. Now I'm hoping that what that's going to do is it's going to burn down underneath and get things going like a wick, and then I can begin to, like I was doing, play a little bit. See if we can get her started. Now that's how I do it. And what I use for fuel is all recycled material. Mostly it's what you'd call junk wood, trash wood from the forest, stuff that normally you'd throw away. You can see it smoking a little because it's just getting started. But I hear some crackling. So now I'm going to go from cedar to apple. These are little bitty apple shoots. They're dried. Put those in there. We'll get that thing going. And the important thing is, we're not going to give up completely on the opportunity to put wood in from the side here. So we're going to go ahead and stick that big guy in there like that. Throw a few more of these in there. Put a few more of those in there. And now we're just going to basically sit here. Now you can see we've got some smoke. I want to talk about that smoke for a minute. Because I'm using trash wood, it's not as clean burning as what you'll see over on Steve's stove at Technician 775 channel. If you watch him start his fire, it's just clean as can be. And that's because there's no bark, there's no discrepancy, no moisture content issues, and it works really well. But I happen to be very frugal. And what I love about this stove is that once I got the stove, I don't have to spend money on anything. So I'm able to use any kind of stuff that I want. You can see that this fire is really going now. And so what I'm going to do, put a couple more pieces in there. And I'm going to do what people have said. Yes, Sarah. Thank you. We'll just let her burn down now a little bit. And once it starts burning down, that smoke will go away. Now in a bug out situation, the smoke's not a big problem. One thing I want to bring to your attention is that I've got a couple tools down here that I think are just wonderful. This is called the Fireside Friend from Estawing. It's a 4-pound. This thing is fantastic. When I split up stuff like this is cherry. It just works great. The other tool that I have that I really like is right here, and this is the wedge, and it works good too. So let's go ahead and put a couple pieces. Now this is the cherry that I've already cut up. But what I'm going to do, once my fire's going good, I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of these bigger pieces of cherry so that it'll start cooking that cherry and getting her going. Now you can see I've got a flame there. I can cook on that right now, no problem about it. We're going to put those in there so that they'll just kind of start cooking. And that's about the extent of it, because now that it's going good, I've got a fire. Yeah, there's a little smoke. That's okay. Doesn't bother me in an outdoor setting. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing how I start the stove. I'll bet you there'll be people that won't like this smoke or whatever. Well, go ahead and try using just kiln-dried wood, and you won't have the problem. But if you're going to use recycled stuff, yard debris, stuff like this, then that's what you should do. So I want to tell you, if you have any comments, please give me a jingle, leave me a message. I look forward to hearing from you. Now you have a nice day and enjoy the outdoors. Remember, this is a DEADWOOD stove, and you can find out all about it at deadwoodstove.com.